We're just gonna lean with it, roll with it, rock with it. Hi, Tasha.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hey, Barry.
Bringing in
He's trying to be a social hero.
the love tones this evening.
You out here trying to be the quiet storm.
How are you?
I am fantastic. I really am. Right. And I love the topic that we're going to talk about tonight. Are you ready to be stretched? Are you ready to be stretched? Because I know.
Like, literally, I need to be stretched.
Yeah.
Like my body. Good evening, Gail. How are you?
Hi, Gail. How are you? I think, and please, whoever's watching us, please say hello, drop us, and please join in the conversation. So this is, I think, a very it's a timely topic. Hey, Gangsta E, how you doing tonight? We'll see you soon. It's a very timely topic, right? About stretching. I'm going to say for me, because I feel like I'm really being stretched personally and professionally, and I'm being challenged in ways. I'm going to say that I've probably been challenged before, but I'm approaching them in a new way. What about you?
Very true. True for you.
Yeah.
Me, I can't think of a particular situation in my life right now where I'm being stretched. Oh, maybe work.
Your life. What are you talking about, Tasha?
Well, you about to make me say a bad word. Yeah, like every day, right?
What is she talking about? Like, yeah, I mean, let's just go through your day today. What time did you get up?
5:45.
What time did you work out?
6:30.
And then what'd you do?
Take my daughter to school.
And then what'd you do? Didn't you make the kids breakfast in there too?
No. They had
you didn't do breakfast in there.
No.
Then you took your
couple errands, came home and took a shower and went to work.
Right. You had schoolwork tonight? You had class tonight?
My gosh, yes.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and say you're stretched to every day.
So that's a different kind of stretching, though. It's not the kind of stretching we're talking about, right? That's almost like being stretched thin, right?
Isn't it?
In my mind, I'm thinking about, are you ready to be stretched? When I see that, it's like coming out of your comfort zone type of stretching, right? This is my zone. This is where I live every day. Right?
Oh, well, it would be a heck of a stretch for me every day, but I feel you.
The stretch comes when I don't have my supports. That's when I feel like I get stretched, right? So my husband's out of town all last week. Yeah, that was a stretch for me because I'm used to that extra set of hands, that extra voice, right? The extra lean in for me. So single parenting is a stretch.
Yes. Listen, I fully understand. I think for me, I just think there have been times in my life and I've come to a crossroads and I could either stay comfortable, right? Or go with the familiar. But the familiar keeps you very small. That's just the bottom line of it, right? As long as you keep doing what you're familiar with, what you know, where you go, you never go beyond that. Your life becomes very, very small and very, very safe. And I personally think life is much more than that. I want to have. Now, that also means I've got to get comfortable with the stretch, and I haven't always been comfortable with being stretched.
Right. And listen, if you're happy with the small life and that's all you want, then ride out, right? But I think the people that we know and the people that, are around us are those that have, kind of the bigger goals and they've been blessed with vision. And if you're able to see things, then it is going to take you getting out of your comfort zone to make them happen.
Hey, Nicole's in. Hey.
When daddy's out of town, everyone has to adjust. How about when mama's out of town? Huh?
Yes. I mean, I remember my pastor saying that at a certain point you got to stop being a baby Christian, right? God been showing you things for so many years, right? And he's brought you through so many times. But you still want to act like you can't have faith because you're scared of what's going to happen. At a certain point, you got to stand up and say, it's time to graduate high school of faith, right?
Yeah,
We got to walk stronger. And I absolutely feel like that's where I am right now.
that's good. And that's the question, right? It's making the decision. Are you ready to be stretched? Are you ready to go after, you know, what's in your mind, right?
Yeah. I'm at the point in my life, I'm like, I just want to dream bigger. I had someone tell me, this several months ago, to be aspirational, like just go think bigger than you've even considered before. I'm still struggling with that. And I find that very interesting, right? It's very difficult for me to think beyond, because he was like, no, go further, go further. And I'm like, I don't know what that looks like.
See, whereas you have friends like me and another girlfriend who, have this sort of sense of we're not in the place that we should be, right? There should be more of more and more of certain things, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I want everyone who's watching to please just join in the conversation. How do you all deal with being stretched? When you come to that crossroads, do you stay safe, or do you push past? All right. And so we're going to talk about, in the meantime, while you drop your comments in, we're going to talk about some of the ways that you can push past.
Ian,
Huh?
when you drop your comments, Ian.
Oh, is that what I said? All right. So this is a bit of a controversial tip. Okay.
Drink, excuse me.
Okay, take the sip on the controversial tip.
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, it's on me. So Tasha wrote,
Here's what we'll do. Let me just say this, right? We like to have some point of reference when we're talking, right? We come up with these ideas on, things that we want to talk about to inspire people, and then we sort of find some articles or some stories to support the conversation.
Girl,
So
you
as
sound way too much business.
I'm reading the article, and listen, this is just the way it came up in my mind. I think it's fine. Here's why it is, right? Get a goal that inspires you. If you're ready to be stretched, it's a lot like knowing what your why is, right? If your goal is not inspiring you, you're not going to be open to the stretching, right? You're not going to lean in to the unknown because you're not inspired by that goal. So I think it's also tied to our first step. When we work with people, it's like understanding what your why is. It has to be inspiring and encouraging to keep you going when things get tough, and being stretched is hard, right?
It
But
is.
if your goal is to live a better life, right? Whatever that means to you professionally and personally, then being stretched and going through that, you're going to go through it because that goal is more inspiring and it's going to keep you focused.
So I'm going to say it's also about your mindset, right? So going back to the example I just gave, I've come at this crossroads. I'm at a particular crossroads in my life, personally, and I've been here before. And before, I've been scared what's going to be happen next. I have shifted my mindset, and there is a very real difference in how I approach things. I don't have the flutters. I'm walking more in confidence. Like, whatever happens next is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. Right? I could switch and be like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen next, or man, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm gonna be all right.
Nicole says, I have a habit of trying to tiptoe into the shallow end when pursuing a new goal, but I know sometimes the best way to approach a new challenge is to dive in. Yeah, lean
Yeah.
in, right? Gail says, stretching of your doing is one thing, stretching due to another is different.
And
Yeah.
I think many times we find ourselves when we have to stretch to someone else.
Yeah.
Right. And so our first goal speaks to stretching to yourself. Like, hey, I've always wanted to, and as accountability coaches, that's what we encourage people to do. There's something you've always wanted to do. Let's get something that really inspires you. But when life happens, and you're dealing with some stuff you've never wanted to deal with.
Yeah.
Whew. That's when you get stressed. That's that uncomfortable stress, certainly. And it's got to be your mindset and how you approach it and knowing that you're going to get through it.
Go ahead, just change the tip. That's fine. Oh, look, change your mindset. That'd be tip number 2. Huh. Specifically around fear, right? And so, Nicole, this speaks to your comment about tiptoeing into the shallow end. It's probably because you're fearful of what might happen, right? And so, this is about changing your mindset around fear. I was telling Sharon right before we started, I was in Clubhouse one day and this young lady was coming to the stage and she was nervous about speaking. And she she expressed her nervousness, right? And the moderator said, "Hey, wait a minute. Let's address this, right? Before we even talk about what you want to talk about, let's address the nervousness and the fear that you have around public speaking, right? Might it be that you're more excited about coming up to speak or you're very passionate about what it is that you have to say, right? So it's, you know, because your body also responds to those type of emotions as well. And so changing your mindset around fear, that stuck with me. That person wasn't even talking to me, but when I get nervous about speaking right now or doing anything, right? I sort of think about that too, right? Is this feeling more about me being excited about something or more about me being passionate about something or so it stuck with me, changing my mindset.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on mindset and fear?
Well, I just said it. Yeah. I mean, I am changing my mindset. I am excited. I'm looking at it as God is just going to show up and show out for me. And because he always has, right? Um, I've certainly I've had challenges in life, but I've overcome them all by the grace of God. So why shouldn't I believe that it's going to happen again? And so I kind of move now with that energy, like, oh, something fantastic is getting ready to happen. And it changes. I've been sleeping better. When I shifted, and I got through my initial humps, I sleep so much better now. I'm going out of town next week. I can't wait. I'm, closing all the books, shutting all the shades. I'm out. Everybody can kiss my hind parts while I'm gone.
Listen, another thing that's been helpful for me around changing my mindset is talking about it, right? Expressing my trepidation and my fear and my feelings around a situation and having a wonderful accountability partner who has a different perspective helped me change my mindset around some things. And
Mhm.
so I do encourage people to those people that are sitting in the front row of your life who are supportive, right? Get rid of the critics, those who are supportive, share what you're feeling with them and allow them to help you change your mindset around fear.
Yeah, for sure. That those people sitting in the front row of your life. So, pick those people wisely.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be pulled to comfort, lean to growth.
So when we talk about the big things that you want in your life, they don't live in your comfort zone, right? The comfort zone is comfortable just for that reason, right? Because you don't have to do anything. But if you want something better or different or bigger, right? That's going to
Mhm.
be in that area where you have to be stretched and kind of lean into the growth, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I
it
have
hurts,
two.
it hurts a little bit, right? When you think about working out and you're stretching those muscles and trying to change the way your body is configured a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It could be tough, but the results are fantastic on the other side.
I like to liken, and I try to always consider. I have two aunts who are 91 years old, right? I got an Aunt Edie and I got an Aunt Mildred. Now, Aunt Edie, when I saw her last, she said, "Hey, I need you to put that Hulu on because I got my Brits I want to see on Hulu, and call me on the Facebook portal, right? So we're Facebook friends now. I want you to call me on the Facebook portal so we can talk. Okay. She gets up in the morning. She has Alexa remind her when to take her pills and play Ray Charles. On the West Coast, I have my Aunt Mill, who is 91, who's still driving, managing her investment properties, you know, just the boss, to me. And what they've shown me is that they continually push themselves. Like, if I compare them to my grandmother probably never touched a computer. I don't think she did, right? Because listen, she never got call waiting. Okay. I mean, we were well into 2020s. We're at 2022 now. So maybe 2019, she didn't have, if you called and that line was busy, it was busy. Okay. She had an answering machine, right? And she was very sort of, this is how I'm going to live. I'm not changing. Yeah. This is what's comfortable for me, right? And so to me, her world became very small because she was not willing to learn the new things to grow. And when I see these women who are out and they're moving and they're 91, my God. Yeah, it's always a lesson for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think accountability plays into this tip as well, because an accountability group, accountability partner, coach is not going to let you stay in your comfort zone, especially not if you've expressed that here's the goal that I want, right? Here's the person who I want to show up as.
Yeah.
Once you say it, it becomes real. And, listen, words of affirmation is not my love language, right? But I want to show up differently in my relationship. And so I have Sharon does not let me forget that, listen, grow, lean, right? Come out of your comfort zone, because what is comfortable for me is acts of service, right? Quality time, super easy, done and done, right?
Yeah.
I can shut everybody down and just focus on you if that's what you want, right? But that's not his love language. And so I've got to get out of my comfort zone and lean into growth in my relationship. And I appreciate the pings.
Well, it helps that I'm in PR.
Queen of communication, right?
It helps, it does help. But you are growing, right? And so again, always we're going to say that having an accountability partner helps. But if you don't have one, listen, keep these things in mind when you come to these crossroads, right? So let's just go back over tip 1. Get a goal that inspires you,
so you can keep going.
Okay. Number 2, change your mindset around fear.
Express it, talk about it so others can help you as well.
Tip number 3, don't be pulled to comfort. Lean into growth. It's so much better. It's so much better when you go to the growth. It doesn't feel good initially.
But then listen, that growth area then becomes your comfort zone, right? Because it becomes natural and comfortable and regular. And then you can, continue to lean into whatever's next for you in your life.
So if you want to
always learning and growing. Thank you, Nicole.
Listen, Nicole's on here. And so we're about to have a growing conversation. Nicole and I have been friends for many years. She's my college roommate. And so she sent me a text, and let me just to talk about how this woman is growing. She was like, did you see that Amazon is going to split? Talk about a woman who's evolved and changed, and our relationship. Like, this is when you get to be a woman of a certain age, that stock split is what we want to talk about.
Right.
What does that mean for my retirement? What does that mean for my coins? Yes, that's stock split, but that's us growing and learning and learning more about money, which is where you and I began wanting to learn more about money.
I like it. So answer yes to the question, are you ready to be stretched? Yes.
Please, please, and thank you. All right. So if you want to learn more and follow Tasha and I, you can always follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Accountability Queens and accountability_queens. You can go to our website, accountabilityqueens.com. And if you are interested in taking our class, we've got a Change the Game class where you can take the class at your own pace. Go to bit.ly/AQ class. We'd love to have you. We're going to sit there, get you started on this accountability journey so you can live the life that you truly, truly want.
That's right. Good to
Okay.
talk to you, Sharon.
What'd you say?
It says good to talk to you.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I don't know what you
If
said.
anyone is concerned, I feel fine. I feel much better than I sound. Thank you for your concern.
Good night, Tasha. I'll talk to you. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.